All right. I have begun work on the magic system. Check it out. Press M. Yeah. This feels very satisfying for some reason. I don't understand why. It's not even fully functional. But goddamn does it feel good. So I'll probably end up talking a little bit about how I got this to work. What I still need to do in order to get it fully functional. Future ideas, things like this. I also have some experiment with references versus shared pointers that I'd like to explore while listening to death metal generated by AI. It's a great way to spend a Thursday night. Hanging out at the dojo. I lowered my monitors a bit. They're kind of more optimal. Also made the camera bigger. I don't know if people like that shit. But I do know I need to fucking update my YouTube shit. Because it's... Okay, I actually got the correct thumbnail this time. That's good. That's better than nothing. Correct category. I just gotta update my playlists. Also tags. Okay. Where do we begin? Actually, you know, death metal may not be the best music to, like, lecture to. Let's try something a little bit more... a little bit more in this direction. No. Hold on. Jeez. Oh my god. ADE. Okay, let's do some dark industrial hard chill. We'll see how my voice sits on top of everything. Okay. So how'd I get this working, right? I had an epiphany about how to actually implement the beginnings of the magic system and how an interplay of a spell effect, such as this exploding fireball, and its relationship to the animation system. Because while I have not fully finished implementing the logical components to the spell effect, as you can see, I have it visually working, mostly. There is a catch and a problem that I have to fix. And that's the fact that the animation's on loop for infinity, which is a good start. And to demonstrate that whole concept, we can actually comment this code out, and it will persist in animating the casting state, which is going to be part one of a 3-part or a 3-context animation. So you can see the first part is now on loop for infinity, right? So one thing that we're able to do through this commented code that I just disabled, this effectively handles a switch. So like when one animation completes, it goes to the next animation. And when it gets to the last animation, it goes back to the first animation. So it's set up to do this ad infinitum, but that's not exactly what we want. And what we want has a relationship with the logical component of how this all works. What do I mean by this? Why am I speaking so cryptically? I'll show you. Because it's complicated. So first of all, I had to create a new entity type. This entity type is called spell, and it's very obvious what it is. Now, what is the entity relationship with tiles in the dungeon? Right here. Every tile has a vector that may contain entities, which are just integer IDs. That means when you cast a spell, you're creating an entity called spell, and it gets added to a tile, or at least some spells. Other spells may not operate this way. For instance, like a healing spell. But I figured for something that has like an area effect, right? Because casting fire is going to do more than just damage enemies, right? As an example, we have these wooden doors. We'll also have wooden boxes. Things that are wood might have an attribute on them that says they're flammable, whatever. So when you cast fire on it, we want to process that effect. We want to be able to say, okay, so there's a fire spell on this tile. What else is on this tile? Oh, a wooden door. Okay. Well, in the process of the fire spell being consumed, perhaps we want to set this door on fire, burn it up, and make it go away. I think this would be a reasonable effect. Perhaps if you're an enemy NPC and you get hit with fire, and you have any wooden items on you, perhaps they also get burned up. What a tragic fate. But also an important side effect of the spell, right? Like if you walk through fire or you get hit with fire and you have wood on you, wood gets burnt up. Similarly, if you cast fire on a wooden thing, it also gets burnt up. This is what I want. This is, at the end of the day, what the logic of the system I'm going to be building tonight is. I'm just thinking it through. But at the moment, the way that things work, just like with NPCs and items and things, you can also create a spell at a location. And in creating that spell, can be customized to do different things. But at the moment, we're not processing what happens on a turn-by-turn basis if there is a spell entity on a particular tile. That's something we have to handle still. So, in handling it, there's going to be a relationship with the animation system. At the moment, I'm doing this just for demonstration and like proving to myself that the system kind of works. But the set current is all about like what the current state of a particular entity happens to be in. The context, in other words, which animation row on our sprite sheet do we select for this particular animation state? For a very simple fire spell, I want the effect to effectively loop through all three animation contexts once. And upon completing that final thing, the animation is complete and the entity will have effectively gone away. But the way that it goes away is unprocessing the spell itself. So, for instance, a lot of the logic for casting a spell is very similar to processing an attack. Instead of processing an attack, we create a spell entity and place it at the location that we cast the spell at. we play a sound effect if we successfully cast the spell, and that's it at the moment. But we have to be careful about how the spell gets consumed, because if we do this incorrectly, the animation might not even trigger at all, or it might just disappear instead of actually showing us all three states. And so I'm trying to reason through exactly how this is going to work, because in this very simple example, the spell state and the spell type are used in selecting animations. Do I have a sprite open? Yes. So we want to take a look at so here's the first part of it, is the casting part, right? So it loops, like we're able to do the loop through pretty good, but on the ending part, on the third time through, we're going to want to effectively hide the sprite until it can be formally removed from the tile. Because in processing this, like the actual logic for what's supposed to happen when you get hit, or when we cast this, right? Because we have effectively a spell location. Which is this. So we want that in particular because we're going to want to process those. In fact, we're going to process those before the NPC's turn. But eventually, NPCs will be able to cast spells too. And so, one of the things that we're going to want too for other spells in the future is processing effects that might persist from turn to turn. Because eventually, like for instance, we're gonna only start with like damaging, but we want the spell to go away. And the only time it's really going to persist is if something like catches fire. Because it might like take a turn for something to burn up. So if you touch something while it's on fire, then you catch fire. So processing a spell, right? So at this point, the spell's on the tile. And a lot of what I'm going to code is going to end up being kind of hard-coded in to begin with. But eventually we'll be able to abstract it out into something that can be used in other locations. How's everyone doing tonight? I hope you're having a good evening. Yeah, there is a reason I used SharePoint everywhere, because I am lazy. And one of the experiments that I actually want to do is with abstracting out input state into using references. And even then, if that works, then I was considering migrating everything from shared pointer game state over to references and seeing if I couldn't like do the fuck ton amount of legwork to like eliminate shared pointers from my game entirely. But the only reason I was really interested in doing that is because I recently had this revelation about constant expression. Yeah, I'm late to the game, I get it. But at the same time, the game runs pretty good. It's pretty memory efficient. It's fast. Only uses a single core. And it turns out you can have a lot going on a turn-by-turn, frame-by-frame basis in this environment. So at this point, you know, I'm also trying really hard not to like rewrite the whole system again. At a certain point, you just got to say fuck it and run with it. But sometimes you have to step back, rework things. See, this is try entity cast spell, and generally speaking, when an entity casts a spell, we want to process it. We're not dealing with persistent spells at the moment, even though the way that it functions is we do add an entity to the tile temporarily. Once its animation completes, in this specific instance, because the logical processing will have completed before the animation sequence. So we'll want to go through at the beginning of every logic tick. And if something is marked for removal, to actually remove it. I know this is like really pedantic, Probably really boring to listen to, but it's important. It's important for how this thing functions. We're not even really using this yet. So here we're like hard looping through, right? Like we're hard setting things. So actually, one thing that we're going to add something to sprite group. Get visible. We're going to try an experiment. So instead of setting current to 0, what we'll do instead is set the sprite group to invisible. Let's try that. Oh my god, it works. Oh, see, it's still not doing the logic that we want, but for the animation sequence, that works perfectly fine. So, while this is very hackish, let's understand how it works relative to attacking. Because attacking does a lot of things, like, for instance, damaging the target ID. So if there were any entities on the tile with you, oh, so we actually can move this up So like right here. Then we can actually use spell lock right here. A little bit cleaner. So what's... Oh wait. We don't want to return yet. Wait. No, wait. We have to do it the other way. Okay. We actually have to leave it like that. Okay, so we set the game state flag immediately after trying to cast a spell. So the animation plays out, and before all that happens, we have to like damage any enemies on the tile, or you know, like that would be like the first thing we could do. Actually, I forgot we could use that. And realistically, a tile should only ever have one live NPC. All right, so at this point we have the ID of the NPC on the tile. Take a look at Trinity attack. What do we actually do here? Here we calculate some damage. And we also set the tile and all that stuff. So like, we were to hard code in, like maybe it does like 1d6 fire damage, right? Why doesn't it like that? Oh. Oh wait, we've got an update spell state. Do we have access to the ID? Yes, we do. Oh, but that would rotate through them way too quickly. Oh, I know. Okay, so if spell ending is true, and it's been marked as we might actually have to peek at the sprite group to remove it properly, but we're gonna try this. So if it's ending, and it's destroyed, which it will have been. So if the animation gets marked as is ending, we could even introduce a spell complete. Could even do like a def remove at, but then I would have to get the pull the location out. Def ID XY. Yeah, that's a little bit better. So. Moment of truth. It won't let me cast it won't let me cast there. Oh, they never got removed. Oh, that's probably because we're not calling that new function yet. and it won't let me cast when there's an enemy there. What the fuck is going on here? All right, we're gonna have to debug this. Ah, yes. Okay. No, we can totally create a spell with if there's live NPCs there. Why the fuck not? But I noticed too, it's not marking it for removal. Oh no, it is gone now. It goes away. Oh, but it's removing early. It's not playing the whole animation. As expected. So realistically, we don't want it to do it then so much as when it's complete. So we're gonna have to create yet another struct for spell complete. Is complete. Then over in okay. It would be cool to actually get the burn up door effect to work. We gotta try this on an NPC. Oh yeah, he fucking got killed by the fire. Although it was a little bit difficult to see that he was being damaged by it. We need some way to like indicate when the enemies are being burned. okay. Although there weren't the proper like message updates and things like this, but those can be easily fixed. Okay, that was a huge success. What am I building? First time stopping in. 8 concurrent viewers, 3 likes. I'll show you. Check it out. Here's the scale from far away. Here, we'll zoom in a little bit. Oh. This motherfucker actually hit me. Or we'll zoom in pretty good here. There should only be one thing there. It may not have gotten properly removed somehow. Oh, 2 at a time. That draw time is all over the place. I think you get the idea. What do you think? Pretty good, right? I kind of want to fuck with being able to drag bodies. I think that would be kind of a cool feature. Do I feel like magic is good enough to actually put into the main demo yet? Maybe. There's still tweaks and things. I gotta clean it up, make sure everything looks and is feeling polished. There's still a lot to be desired there. Being able to burn down doors would also be really cool. How exactly all that works, I have yet to probably happen in the same processing loop actually as the damaging and stuff like that. If the tile has live NPCs, then we do that. It's also possible that a live NPC is on top of a open door. So this does this actually does a cache, but oh good, we have a function for tile has door. Oh, it's called floor here. Wait, what? Oh. Spell of X, spell of Y. Let's see how this goes. I just straight up destroyed the door. But it would be nicer if instead of destroying the door, like we could have the fire persist for a turn, or something to that effect. Well, I got hit. Well, he got lucky with those randoms. Wow, that dude bounced in and out of the room like nobody's business. Alright, let's get this build up for y'all. Then I am gonna call it a night. Alright. I hope y'all have enjoyed. Go check out the game. Take it easy.